Hi, Nikki. This is Mindy, and I'm going to give some feedback on your colleague side. Um, I just want to start by saying that I just loved looking at your colleague side again because I really admire your ability to put forth information so simply and succinctly and clearly, but it's still very thoughtful and really well done. So thanks again for your good example. Let's see. Mostly my comments are like things that are done really, really well. I loved in your introduction this point about social studies tending to be a talk at the students kind of study. And I think a strength of your unit plan is that it really is clearly has been designed to be a hands-on, more hands-on um, experience here with the creating the maps and the exploring with Google Maps, Google Earth. I think you've done a really good job of making it more student friendly in that way. Um, I wondered if you've considered sharing this with other kindergarten and first grade teachers. As you said, the standards are taught differently across the grade level, but I feel like this would be a great resource to kind of share across the grade level to help everyone teach it maybe in the same way. I don't know if that's a thing, but I'm sure it's a good resource for others. Um, let's see, then you explain why you chose Google Earth, which I thought you explained very well. Um, this reminded me of the less is more principle from Mayer 2014. How you said, I don't want to overwhelm them by making them learn lots of different tools, but rather you're just using the same tool in multiple ways. And I think that'll help them build their schema and gain familiarity with this tool that they're going to be using in their everyday life to navigate, like um, when they start using GPS technology to help them get around town in their cars, in the future. But let's see. I thought that was a very good choice in that respect. Let's see. You mentioned also that you're going to use digital and physical maps exploring local areas that are familiar to students. And this seemed like a great way to reduce extraneous load because you're drawing upon their prior knowledge. They already know these areas and they're just getting to see them in a different format. And I think that's a great idea. I've also noticed some TPAC thinking here when you talk about, just having them create a map with pencil and paper as a way for you to assess their understanding. I think that's a great explanation of why you've chosen that tool. It fits your purposes perfectly. You're not asking them to demonstrate knowledge of a new tool. Rather, you just want them to demonstrate the knowledge that you're really interested in. And I think that's a great combination of technology, pedagogical, and content knowledge. Technological, pedagogical content knowledge, excuse me. Yeah, so I'm just going to go down to the formal lessons plans, which I loved. It's just so simple and straightforward and easy to follow. And I assume you're going to come back and add in the lesson sequence and assessments for each of these, and maybe not. Even if without it, I felt like it was still usable as a teacher. I could still come to this and say, okay, I know what the big idea is. I know what the expectations are. Here, I have the resources and I can kind of create the lesson and the assessment myself if needed. Um, yeah, let me scroll down to the bottom because in lesson 6, maybe. Sorry, I'm scrolling fast, which is something I'm not supposed to do. Okay, with the DeWitt Google Earth Tour, I wondered if you had considered adding a short piece of instruction for how to create a tour like this if I'm living in a different town, for example. You have similar instructions for the Google Voyages down in lesson 6 or 7, I think. but it might be helpful to have this here as a teacher coming to this thinking I'm going to utilize this lesson in this unit plan in my own class. Um, I'd like to kind of know how to create the tour for my own town. And then my only other question was, what is this Google Earth homework in lesson 6? Maybe I just missed it, but I wasn't sure what that was referring to. And overall, I think it's just great.